Hey, what's up everybody? It's itsMaxDigital here, and in this video I'm going to compare the specs of the Motorola Moto G Power 2021 with the Motorola Moto G Power 2020. So we got the newer one on the left and the older 2020 model on the right. Let's go ahead and get started, and let's see what's different about these devices, because they're from the outside they're very similar and it could get confusing. There's so many Motorola phones and Motorola G Powers out there. Let's go ahead and set the record straight. First thing we're going to talk about is the difference in pricing. Now, the Moto G Power 2021 version, at the time of this video, it is still the newer device and it is available on a Cricket Wireless. Now, the Moto G Power, the 2020 version, is nowhere to be found on prepaid carriers, but both of these devices could still be bought on the Motorola website. And when you go to take a look, depending on the 2020 version, you might get 4 gigabytes of RAM with 64 gigs of internal storage, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But generally, these prices, unlocked brand new from Motorola, are $250. But these are pretty much free right now at Cricket if you go to their website and get this on prepaid. So on the price wise, the Moto G Power 2021 is the obvious one to get, especially since it's free, and the Moto G Power 2020 is not even being sold anymore at prepaid. But both of these are the same price if you get them unlocked from Motorola. So neither of these devices offer 5G connectivity. If that's something that you want in a device, then stay clear of these devices. These are LTE phones only. The Moto G 2021 version comes in at 206 grams, weighs 7.3 ounces. And the Moto 2020, it weighs a little bit less, 199 grams, which comes in at 7.02 ounces. So very negligible amounts. They weigh right about the same. The overall size of the Moto 2021 is just a little bit bigger, a little bit taller from the 2020 version. Both of these phones are water repellent, so they shouldn't be fully submerged in water. So these are just kind of if you're in the rain or a little splash from the sink or something like that. Now let's talk about displays on these devices. The 2021 version has its LCD, just like the 2020 version. So both of them have LCD screens. You're getting a 6.6 inch screen on the 2021 with 84% screen to body ratio. The 2020 model has a slightly smaller screen at 6.4 inches, and it has 83% screen to body ratio. So the 2021 is a little bit bigger. The resolution on these devices are as follows. The 2021 has a 720 by 1600 pixel resolution, while the 2020 version has a 1080 by 2300 resolution pixels. So basically, the 2020 version had a better display than the 2021. One is full HD, the 2020, and the other one is just HD. The PPI on the 2021 is 266, while the 2020 version had more at 399 PPI. So the new one actually downgraded in screen. For the software, these are very, very similar. There's almost no distinction in these devices when it comes to the software. They're both running Android 10. I have no idea if they're ever going to upgrade. I highly doubt that these devices are going to upgrade to Android 11 at any point. But the software is very stock, and it has some very useful Motorola features, like if you chop it to turn on the flashlight, or you twist it to do the camera, just to name a few Motorola gestures. But all in all, this is a very pixel-like stock Android experience, very clean, very efficient. And that's something that I really like in these phones. Now, when it comes to the chipset powering these devices, they're both Snapdragon processors. The 2021 has a 662 Snapdragon, while the 2020 has a 665 Snapdragon. So very similar, but the 2021 is a little bit of a downgrade, but not really going to make a big difference in these devices. Now, when it comes to storage, the 2021 starts off as 32 gigs, while the Moto 2020 G Power has 64 gigs. So the older one has double the storage of the new one, unless you chose to upgrade to the next version of the 2021 model, 64 gigabytes. The amount of RAM also has gone down in the 2021. It went from 4 to 3. So you're getting less RAM than the older 2020 version. But the performance should be negligible if you're running day-to-day tasks. Both of these devices also have micro SD card slots, so that kind of negates anything with the internal storage. I think anybody that owns an Android phone should invest $20 in a micro SD card anyways. In the camera department, the 2021 model has a triple shooter in the back, a 48 megapixel main camera, 2 megapixel macro, 2 megapixel depth. The 2020 version has a 16 megapixel main camera, 8 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixel camera. So the big difference here is that the 2021 has removed the ultra wide that's found on the 2020 version. The 2021 is rocking 1080p video. The 2020 has 4K. So obviously the camera has downgraded in resolution for video, and it has removed the ultra wide camera. But all in all, I don't think it's gonna make a big difference. Both of these cameras are gonna take similar pictures and video. I don't think a lot of people take advantage of 4K anyways. So these are not that big of a change. Now let's talk about the selfie cameras. The 2021 has an 8 megapixel selfie camera. 2020 has 16 megapixel selfie camera. Both of these shoot in 1080p video. Both of these devices are rocking a headphone jack, which if you have not moved on to wireless earbuds, this is pretty good for you guys. Or you want to connect a mic, connect physical headphones, or you want to connect your phone to a car with an aux cord. This is still a feature that's being offered on budget and mid-range phones, but is disappearing on flagships. Both of these offer Bluetooth at 5.0, and this is how you're going to connect your wireless earbuds and your smartwatch. There is no NFC offered on either of these devices. They are also being charged with the USB Type-C. And speaking of battery, both of these rocking 5,000 milliamp batteries, hence the name Moto G Power. Those 5,000 milliamps will power you throughout the day. I don't care who you are, this is gonna last you pretty much all day. If you're really taxing that phone with games, a lot of video, then yeah, you definitely need to charge this device up. But luckily these phones offer fast charging. The 2021 offers fast charging at 15 watts. The 2020 version charging at 10 watts. But either way, you stick this on the charger, it should charge up pretty quickly to refill that 5,000 milliamp battery. For the fingerprint sensors, they are different. The 2021 has a side-mounted fingerprint reader. The 2020 has the rear-mounted fingerprint reader. So what are my takes on these phones, comparing them head to head? Basically, software-wise, these are very similar devices. They do the same things. The main selling point of these phones is that they have 5,000 milliamp batteries that have not changed. They both are huge batteries in both of these phones. They're running the same software pretty much, Android 10 stock type software. There's some things that are gonna differ, like the RAM or the camera. But other than that, these are very similar. If you run these phones side by side, you probably wouldn't notice a difference. If you're a regular user that is just watching YouTube, sending messages on WhatsApp, checking TikTok, sending an email, browsing the web, using casual gaming, you're not gonna notice a difference in performance. And right now, the Moto G Power 2021 is on Cricket for free if you port in your number at the time of this video. So, in conclusion, these are both really good phones for most people, especially at these price points. If you go to the high end, you can get it fully unlocked for $250. And if you go to Cricket, you can get this for free. So these are really good phones at a really decent price if you like stock Android and classic Moto software.